Hi, hello. Hi, doston. So, welcome to the AS Preparation League Season 2. This is your Dasaradha Sir, your subject matter expert of the theory of competition. In this live, I'm going to share with you very important tips and very useful content for your preparation. I would request everyone pay your attention for the next 30 to 40 minutes. Later on, I'm going to take up all your queries which you are going to be shared through the chat box. I suggest you all, please do pose your questions in the chat box. I've been watching your chat box here. So we're having the queries related to the theory of competition, you can post it. And today's live is going to be mainly talk about what is the important content to be focused for the exam point of view, and what is the general weightage of the topics in the theory of competition. Very useful tips are going to be shared with you. Pay the attention and be posting all your queries, whatever you have in the chat box. Once again, we welcome you for the ACE Preparation League Season 2. Yeah, this is your Dasaradha Sir, the subject matter expert of the theory of competition. I've been working for this institution for the last 15 years, and I have authored several computer science books, especially the more popular books from me. One is from the theory of computer science, other one is from the theory of computer science and automata theory. Here in a compiler construction, also we have here certain books. We have authored here several computer science books here, but most popular books are here automata and compiler, and there is a complete book for the GATE has been written with a simple tips to prepare for the examination. I hope my expertization in this area is definitely going to be help you to prepare well for the coming up examination in 2023 GATE. Sure, I'm going to take your all queries, whatever you are going to be posting in the chat box. Please do post your queries in the chat box. Let's come to the first thing, what is very important before you start your presentations, start your preparations. The first thing to start your preparations, which is very important, to understand each and every course importance, weightage in the examination. This is very important part of your preparation. So that's why what I am going to do here, I am going to share with you what is the weightage of the theory of computation for the past 5 to 6 years of statistics I am going to be present you. Look at this. If you see this weightage of this course, you can see minimum of the 7 to 8 marks you can expect. Whatever I kept here 10 or 9, it's not in general, it's going to be the high expectations. Maximum expectation is the 9 marks. Some questions, whatever you have in the theory of computation, may be combination of the compiler design and this course. Certain questions you cannot distinguish, it is from the theory of computation, it is from the compiler design. If you talk exclusively on this course, what is the weightage I can expect from the examination, this is about 8 marks is the minimum on this. Some cases is very rare cases, 7 marks will get it. If you look at here the statistics here, even in 2022 recent years, you could see here there are 8 marks of weightage in the both the sets. In one set you got it for the 8 marks, in another set you got it for the 8 marks. Even you see those questions also, there are 3 questions in 2022 in set number 1 from the 2 marks and 2 questions of the 1 mark from the set number 1. Altogether here you have 5 questions, 3 for the 2 marks and 2 for the here about 1 mark. So this itself is says here 8 marks is the minimum we got from the last year. We are expecting the same. Another important thing I wanted to say here, this weightage says here, the theory of computation course is very important course to secure high score in the examination. Because if you combine the combination of theory of computation and compiler, you will get about the 10 marks. This 10 marks is nothing but a 10% of weightage in the examination. That's why I'm saying here, this course you cannot skip either way unless you prepare well, and certain concepts are pretty easy to answer. You don't need to here prepare so much of the content, or you can say so much of the techniques, but many of the questions you can simply answer by using the basic fundamentals. That is a very advantage for this course, because you have here so many procedures for answering of the certain questions, but practically speaking, to answer the gate question, you nowhere required to apply the procedures to get the answers. You require to apply here only the fundamental points. You require to apply here only the basic fundamentals, or you can say basic principles. That itself is going to give you the answers. So you should be very smart enough while you are answering it. Otherwise, you will feel your every answer seems to be the correct here, especially particularly this course like a theory of computation. So that's why, friends, what I'm suggesting here, this is very important course which has got about the 8 to 10% of weightage in the examination. So this is the one thing you must understand. Then you should feel here what is the priority you are going to be given to this, and you should pay here more attention for this course, especially this is combined with here the course like a compiler. When you combine together, you will be having about 10%. So that's why these two courses has got a high priority in the list. I just come back to what kind of syllabuses we have here in the syllabus part. We have seen in the previous years, these are the 7 titles you can see always every year we have been seeing this. Slightly it may be varying sometimes, but majority of the cases we have seen here, these are the titles. We will be having about the finite automata, and we have the regular expressions or regular languages. Later we say push-down automata concepts and context-free language concepts. And then we have the Turing machines and undecidability. They are the major titles we have in the syllabus part. If you look at here the exam also, the content like a Turing machine, we are not mentioned anything like a linear bounded automata. Also, we are not introduced here any concept like a formal languages of this automata system, but you have to touch upon what do you mean by recursive languages, what do you mean by recursively enumerable languages, properties of them. They are very, very important, even though it has not mentioned in the syllabus part, because they are correlated, or you can say interrelated concepts. That's why you must know Turing machine as well as the recursive languages and recursively enumerable languages also very important part. You have to see the beauty of this course is here. Don't look at this course is only for we are preparing for the examination like a gate. This course has a lot of applications in the real time. This particular course, when you go through the nowadays advanced concepts like AI ML, natural language processing concepts, NLP fundamental concepts, all are based on the theory of computation. Even the construction of a compiler depends upon the foundation of this theory of computation. That's why theory of computation, you should feel it is a foundational course for many of the upper division courses. This is the undergraduate program course. This is play a very important role in many of the advanced courses, like even you wanted to do compiler design pretty well, the foundation of the theory of computation is very important. Similar way, if you look at here NLP, natural language processing concepts, or if you wanted to go for here designing of syntaxes for any programming languages or designing of operating systems, many of the system program concepts depends upon the theory of computation fundamentals. So that's why, friends, what I'm suggesting here, don't look at this course is only you are just preparing for the examination which is going to become for the gate. No, this has got here many of the practical applications. Another beauty of this course is here, this course is going to be help you to improve your computational thinking levels. You know, certain problems of the theory of computation will not make you to sleep. There are many of the problems will take you to solve many days or required here so much of time to answer them. And if you do practice more and more, you will feel here comfort. But if you don't do any practice on the problem solving, then you will feel here every answer, whatever is provided in the options, it seems to be always correct. That's a problem here. That's why if you wanted to perfect in this course, the best strategy is here, practice as many problems as possible. Do the practice. And you know that the course is completely about mathematical concepts. The course doesn't have here any of the theoretical concepts here, except the last title, what you have here in the undecidability. The rest of the titles all are here problem based. In each and every problem is a more challenging, and you can see here everywhere the problem solving ideas, whatever you are getting, they are going to be help you to improve your computational thinking levels, and also you will enjoy the moment when you are solving the problem on your own. So this is have your multiple advantages, not only for the preparation, and it will give you a lot of pleasure to solve here each and every problem. So these are the titles, whatever we have with us for the syllabus part. I just take down what is the general weightages. I just say here in the titles, whatever we have, like regular languages and finite automata. This is the 50% of weightage has been given to this. At least 4 marks from these 2 titles you can expect for the examination. So that's why you should give at least more time, or you can say 50% of your preparation time exclusively on these 2 titles, finite automata concepts and regular language concepts. This will give you at least one mark question and 1 or 2 marks questions. So you are expecting here at least 50% of questions we are expecting from this part here. That's what I'm also saying here. You can look into this here. You can say 50% of the marks. I just put it here. I'm expecting about the 4 marks from these 2 titles. Then coming to the next 2 titles, that's about the push-down automata and context-free languages. Push-down automata and context-free languages has got here another 30% of weightage. This 30% of weightage you includes here mostly on the context-free language concepts, or sometimes the combination of the push-down automaton and context-free languages. So 30%, which says here at least 1 question of the 2 marks is going to be expected from these areas. I mean, whatever I am providing the data, this is all because of the previous data analysis. Whatever I am presenting here, this is what I understood by analyzing the previous papers. And you can also see the same once you do it. Then you come back to this. So here, this entire thing, whatever you have, like a Turing machine concepts or recursively enumerable language concepts, or the titles has been mentioned in the syllabus, but few basic differences between the, what do you mean by LBA and context sensitive languages. You have your very thin line differentiation between these 2. That also you must understand. And you cannot skip here these 2 titles also, but you must aware what is the differentiation between this Turing machine and LBA and context sensitive and recursive enumerable languages. Basic concepts you also must aware about them. If you look at all this, you can expect about at least one mark question on this area. So that's the reason I am putting here at least 1 mark, that's the 10% of the weightage given to these titles. Apart from these 2, all the titles, there is one more concept, as I mentioned, undecidability concept. Undecidability, if you look at this one here, this is generally we are expecting 1 question on this area. This is given for another 10% of weightage. So here, this is what exactly we understood by analyzing the previous papers. This is what pattern of the questions what they are asking. You can see here these two titles whatever you have here, as I mentioned, 50% of weightage you can give it to this, and these two titles you can give it to here 30% of weightage here, and this is for the 10% and further this is for 10%. So this is the idea you should have here while you are preparing. And also I said that remember undecidability concepts, or you can say Turing machine concepts, whatever you are going to be study from here, they are mostly like a theory based questions. Most of the times you can expect them, they are the theory based questions. But problem solving based concepts are here, these four: regular languages, finite automata, push down automata, and context free languages. So they are the four titles, very useful and important on the problem solving areas. Finally, what is the thing I wanted to say here? And if you go to the deeper of each and every topic, I just suggest you here the titles what to be focused here. Whenever you start this course, start with here the fundamentals and terminology what is important. You cannot start directly the syllabus titles. You have the syllabus titles like there is a finite automata, there is a regular languages, right? You cannot go ahead directly to those. You have to start your course learning through the fundamentals, through the terminology. You have to work on the fundamentals and terminology first of all. Those are also very important for the examination. That's the reason I am saying here, work on the fundamentals so that you can have one or two questions also you can have it on the fundamentals. We are talking about the string definitions, string operations, language operations, especially the operation on the languages like a Kleene closure operation, also the homomorphism operation, inverse homomorphism operation, and string related operations. You can see that the concatenation part is very important to understand what you mean by prefix and prefix fundamentals and suffixes. All the basic terminologies, whatever you are going to be use this course, you are going to be studying in the first title, you just focus on the fundamentals. There is a possibility to have here one basic question on this area. But I am not saying here this is not the frequently asking models, but there is a possibility for getting of it. After that, come to these titles, whatever I mentioned. We have been seeing the questions mostly on the previous papers. There would be the DFA for us. They will be given to the DFA. We have to recognize what kind of languages the given DFA accepts, right? DFA machines will be provided to you, and you should be in a position to recognize what kind of languages a machine is going to be accepted. That model is important. Sometimes what happened here, the language will be given, it would be the reverse. Which of the automata can accept here the mentioned language? In 2021, they are given the first of its kind. Actually, they given the language and provided the 4 DFAs, and we have to figure it out which DFA can recognize the language given to you. That was the first time. Earlier, the standard models were here, there was a DFA machine, there was a 4 different options. You have to find it out what is the language corresponding to the given finite automata system. That was the model. You can expect here, this is the one standard model you can see every year. If you see the statistics, you can see the question is there in the same area in 2002, in 2003, in 2005, in 2007. There was a question also in that area, and in 2008 I have seen, in 2012 also I have seen the question, same question of that, and also I have seen here in 2021 there was a question on this model. And sometimes what happened here, they will give you the language, they may be ask you about identify number of strings, how many the machine has been recognized with certain condition. They may be say about this is the language, you can say this is the string length, say for example it is a 7 length. Here there is some conditions will be imposed here. They say that the first bit, second bit, there is something like a 0 or 1. They will give the certain conditions for a string, and they will ask you, tell me about the number of such strings has been accepted by this machine. This is the kind of models they can expect from these 2 titles here. After that, I suggest you identities of the regular expressions are very important. Remember what do you mean by regular expression and its identities. Once there are 15 to 16 identities are there, those identities are very much important for us to do certain simplifications and even to identify certain answers. So some questions will be directly on the identities, some questions will be on that. Some cases what we have seen in the previous papers, there was like a one regular language, you have to identify which regular expressions are going to be represents here that language. Here what are the change you can find nowadays, there is a multiple selection answers. Multiple selection answers were introduced last time. What is this says here? For one language, one expression is not the case all the times. Certain times what happened here, you can have many number of expressions for the same language. That is why what happened here in MSA, they may be given you option A, B, C, D. Here out of these 4, maybe 2 are representing the same language, maybe 3 representing the same language. If you look at here last year in 2022, we have seen one question that is about representation of the even ones and zeros. Some kind of question has been given. There was 4 options. There was 4 options here, but 3 are representing the same language what he was asked in the examination. That's why this is the now become like most important model, like identifying the regular expressions for a given regular languages. So that is the one model you have to be focused on it. After that, please look at this one here. This the derivation. We all know that every finite automata can be converted into the regular expressions, and regular expressions also you can bring back to the finite automata. You can expect here at least either model, like most of the times what happened in 2022, I seen there is a DFA. For that you have to determine what are the expression it's representing. And before here I seen that there was a regular expression, and you have to find out here which automata can accept here the same expression generated language. So, but frequently asking model is here, you have to find it out what is the expression corresponding to the given finite automata system. And as I said, the finite automata regular expression, it is not necessary be a unique. The expression corresponding to the language is not necessary be like a unique all the time. It can be here multiples. So that's the reason you can expect here more models will be asking in this area. You have to be focused on that area here. So this is the one more this is the thrust area to have the question here. Similar way, minimum state DFA for regular languages. This is pretty important topic. You can say more reliable topic than any other topic. We have seen every time at least one question on the numerical answers. So this is the model usually they ask you NAT, numerical answer type. So I suggest you there are multiple important languages here. For all of them you should know what is the minimum state DFA going to be have the states. This is very important. Sometimes what happened here, you will give the regular expression and ask you about what is the minimum state to DFA can have here. Certain cases what happened, the statement of the language will be given to you and asking for you how many number of states you can find here. Many of the people will get confused here when they are saying about the number of states. Dead state is also be the count when you are saying about the number. While you are drawing the diagrams, you may be skip the dead state. But while you are talking about the number of states, or you can say summation of all the states whenever you are summing, you have to include the dead state and then summarize it. So that's why this is one of the thrust area. I suggest you practice the more questions on this domain. That is going to be help you next coming up 2023 gate. Similar way, if you look at here other languages, this portion is also very important. Recognizing the language, whether this given language is the regular language, non-regular language. You should be good at here differentiate whether a language is being given here regular or not regular. That is the one important topic you also must look at here. Of course, you have the pumping lemma to find this language not a regular. But pumping lemma is not going to be help you all the cases to figure it out, because the pumping lemma has got here so many weaknesses that we are already discussed in the previous classes. But we have provided here certain strategies for recognizing whether those languages are here regulars or non-regulars. So we are expecting this is also one more area to have a question in this topic. After that, once you done up to this part is covered here completely, finite automata and regular languages. So you can do this. Later, come back to here context free grammars and then push down automata, whatever you are taken up to this. This is the one more area to have the question. Especially in a context free grammar, the topics we have so many. You have the derivation concepts, we have the ambiguity finding in the grammars, and also we have elimination of the null productions, unit productions. There is a concept of the normal forms here, CNF, GNF, and most important thing is also here the closure properties of the CFGs are very important. Compared to the regular languages properties, properties of your CFLs are very important, because there is no specific property to remember, especially for your regular languages, but for the context free languages it is very important to remember the properties. Especially the complementation is not valid for that, and also your intersection is not valid for it, but all the context free languages is always going to be intersected with your regular languages. So if you look at these three properties, you have to pay the special attention on these areas. And most of the times what you can see in examination, they may be given you some languages like L1, L2, L3, and identifying whether those languages are here CFLs or not CFLs. This is very important. Once they are CFLs or not CFLs, identification has been done. Later you have to apply the concept of the properties. The closure properties of the CFLs are going to be further applied. You cannot expect the properties question directly in the CFLs. Most of the times what happened here, they ask you first of all to recognize whether those languages are context free or not context free. Later on they are going to be ask you about apply the concepts of the properties. Therefore, I request you, this is very important to every one of you, noticing whether a given language is a CFL or not CFL, that is important. After that you have to go for application of your properties of the regular languages, or you can say application of your CFLs are very important. Then once you know, especially that's what I mentioned here, you have to focus more on CFLs are not closed under what operations. That is very important for you, and which operations it cannot be work out. That is the one. I would say here there are two direct operations. One is on the intersection, other one is here complementation. And another point what I am saying here, DCFL properties, don't forget it. So this is understanding what you mean by here, which language generally comes into the category of DCFL. Deterministic context free language identification is also important, which I have not exactly mentioned here. But when I go through this topic like a deterministic push down automata and non-deterministic push down automata, this is very important for you recognizing whether the language is DCFL or just CFL. If not CFL, then it could be what? Non-CFL. You have to see differentiation between what kind of languages will be fall into the category of DCFLs and what are the languages will be come into the category of CFLs. This differentiation you should be able to know, you are clearly understand and able to figure it out whether given languages can be a DCFL or simply CFL. That's what you have to do. And I'm also suggesting you whenever you are preparing for this examination and looking at the languages, you should be go into the deeper of the concept. You have to get into the, okay, it is a CFL and should not leave it just like that. You should also in a position to, okay, this is the CFL or DCFL or not CFL. If not CFL, is it the CSL or recursive? You have to be very good at here, clearly distinguish between the languages. That is the one you have to work out here. So here, this portion, as I mentioned, you can expect about the minimum one question of the 2 marks. 2 marks you can have it from these titles. And finally, as I mentioned here, this is the recursive and recursively enumerable languages. Especially the properties of rec languages, recursively enumerable languages are very, very important. They are very important. And there is a concept of reducibility to decide whether those languages are recursive or recursively enumerable. And similarly, I can also use here decidability or non-decidability. You have to understand first of all what sort of languages I can put into the rec and what sort of languages I can put into the REL. That is the one you have to place first. After that, I am coming to the points here. This is the reliable topic. This is the reliable topic. Some questions would be on the decidability, some questions on the undecidability. And if you go to the these 2 titles separately, some areas you will asking about only tell me which topics are here or which titles are here decidable titles or which titles are here undecidable titles. So decidability, undecidability is a kind of existency or non-existency of an algorithm to solve a problem, or existency or non-existency of a Turing machine to solve a problem, right? So when you go through the titles of the finite automata on regular languages, you have to say what kind of problems are here fall into the category of decidable and undecidable. As I say, a simple hint, tomorrow I am going to be providing a lot of hints about each and every topic. You have to understand basic hints to answer the questions easily. I will tell you few more tips tomorrow. Timing, I am just taking about time to tell you about. You focus on the decidability concept as well as the undecidability concept. List it out the title wise which problems of the finite automata are decidable and which problems of a context free language are undecidable. Similar way here, Turing machine, recursive languages, for all of them you should be in a position to clearly differentiate decidable problems and undecidable problems. And certain problems, whatever you have in the decidability concept, not necessarily be from this main titles of the finite automata, push down automata and all. Some questions would be generalized statements. So those statements also you should be in a position to analyze whether they are the decidable problems or undecidable problems. So I suggest you guys, so they are the major titles whatever I provided, you have to be emphasized more for the examination. So now I am going to take your queries whatever you are posting in the chat box. If you have any specific queries or specific topic to be discussed with me, please post in the chat box so that I can go through your chat box here, right? So this is what actually I wanted to share with you here, and I just wanted to take here this one. So just check into this and let me know if you have here any specific queries related to that. You can just ask me in the chat box here. Yes, so any specific point if you wanted to put, you can simply put it here. So this has been asking you here and looking for your chat box from the people. Once there is no question, I can further proceed to put what is other important ways to be prepared for the examination. I'm just working for that. Yeah. Looking for your options here. Yes. So looking your strategies and looking for your queries from the chat box, waiting for your responses here. Kindly share your responses if you have here anything to be done here. Yes, come on. Working for that. Yes. We are just bothering about your queries part here. This is fine. So I didn't find here any kind of chart related matters from your side. So just I wanted to share with you now what is the other strategy to be followed. Now you have done the point here, what you have done here, right? So now I wanted to take you to the next level here. So just get into the next slide. That will going to be help you to know answer what kind of what is the best way to prepare for that. So that I suggest you now. Just look into this portion. Just look into this. Yeah, just a second here. We are going to be share with you now what is the exact preparation strategy for the examination. I just suggest you, as I mentioned, you're all understood about what is the very important titles to be followed for examination. As I mentioned, the preparation strategy for the theory of computation is a long-term plan. I would say here, preparing for the exam on this course for just the sake of the 2 days or 3 days or 4 days is not enough, because this course is here completely practices. It completely depends upon the number of practices you have done it, the amount of problems you have solved here, the amount of time you have spent to solve the important problems on this course. That is going to be the matter. It's not enough at all only for spending of the just 1 week of time or 2 weeks of time, or just completing the course by one time by reading it from top to bottom. You cannot say here, yes, I have done the TOC. The reason for that, the models, whatever I said, all are here common models. Everybody knows about it. But answers are not same, right? Or you can say the answers are always depends upon the way you are applied your thought process to solve the problem. That is the problem here. Another problem of this course, when you don't have the clarity of differentiation between option to the option, you feel that every option seems to be the correct. You may feel that, yeah, A is correct, B is correct, C is correct, everything seems to be the correct. Of course, some cases what do you do, no? 1 or 2 options you can easily ignore. Yeah, A I can't go, B I can't go, B cannot go. You may have here some kind of evidence why you wanted to not to select here B option and C option, and you wanted to go. There are 2 options in the given answer set, very closely associated, and the differentiation between them is very thin line. That is what actually the point make the differentiation between the candidate to the candidate. The guy who have capabilities can able to differentiate these two, why this is correct, why is not correct, this guy is going to be always successful. But the person who do this one for first time, definitely going to be not possible to do such a differentiations. The guy who prepared very well and we keep practicing plenty of the problems on this, he will be always successful. He will be getting about the more and more number of ideas. More ideas you will get it. So such a guy definitely will be successful. He doesn't spend more time also on the answering of the questions or to find out the exact answers. He never requires the more time to produce or identify the correct answers. So that's why what I am suggesting you here, practice of the problems is very important. That's what I am suggesting here. And everything what I said, you have done a lot of analysis on the papers. We are also giving you the lot of inputs about the topics where you have to be focused, where not to be focused. Very important thing to every one of you. First of all, you just give high priority for your classwork. Suppose you are preparing from the institutes, you should give the priority for preparing the complete notes provided by your teacher, because the teacher is going to be provide you the complete story of your course, and he knows about what is the topics to be emphasized, which topics are very important, which topics are to be skipped here, and where you should put the more efforts, where you have to put a less efforts. That's the reason I suggest you the first of all, you give the high priority for your classroom note. understand that. That is the first thing you have to do it. Once you get a familiarity with the nook and corner of your classwork, right, that improves your confidence levels, right, that improves your confidence levels. Once your confidence has been built, then next step of you is very simple. Go to all the previous questions. Next, come back to here, previous questions. Go to the booklet, or you can say all the previous questions from the 2000 onwards. Before that, I don't suggest you, from the 2002 onwards, all the objective type of questions, whatever you have, solve all of them. While you are solving them, do each option analysis thoroughly. Do this analysis, why this is not correct, why not. Your answer should be always not to just finding out the correct answer. While you are preparing for the examination, you have to get into the topic like option A, you are selected, fine, this is not the correct answer. Then you should have evidence why you wanted to avoid this option. And you should correlate, okay, this is going to be related to that title. Say for example, you are asking about the language recognition. Language recognition of a given automata, if you are doing so, option A, okay, this is not related to the given automata, but this is the language I have here, the evidence for relevant to the another kind of automata. You have to provide here such evidences for each and every option. When you practice this way, definitely you will improve your confidence levels in the problem solving, right? So number one, I said go to the classwork. Second thing I told, solve the previous problems as many as possible. Once you done these two, all the A students I am saying here, our materials, I would say here our volume 1 and volume 2 and bits and bytes of this course are very important, very important. Practice all the practice questions provided in the volume 1 as well as the bits and bytes of this course. Once you complete these two, now you have made complete foundation, right, to make any kind of test. Later, second step, or you can say another step, what you have to take care here, don't miss the test series of the A's. Why? The test series of the A's has been rated as the highest quality test series among any other institutions. This is what the majority of our students will provide as a feedback. And every question, whenever we preparing a question here, we spent a lot of time to create one question here. So I suggest you don't miss out any test series of our institute. Practice the test series as many as possible. I'm suggesting you here also, take as many tests as possible, wherever it's possible, anywhere from any other place. If you have an opportunity to take a test series, please go ahead and practice as many as possible. That is the one you have to keep practice. While you are answered it, never ever bother about the scoring. You just work for here what is the new thing you have learned. Don't bother about how much score you have got. That doesn't matter to you. It's very important, okay, in this test series, what is the new model you have identified, or new questions you have identified, or new strategy you have followed here to answer. This is the one you have to take care here. So give the priority for test series. Once, especially whenever you are coming back, you are coming very close to the examination, like in month of January, in month of December, we have to take here all the mock exams as many as possible, as many as possible. So this is the one you have to do practice. That will improve your confidence levels. Definitely it's going to be help you to get the good score in this particular course here. And finally, I'm just coming to your most important part here. Before completing your preparation, or while you are doing your preparation, this is very much important for every one of you, maintaining separate quick review notebook. Whatever points you understood newly or whatever fundamentals you are recently noted or upgraded your skill, all those points you try to put it as a separate note, make it as a separate strategy, make a separate notebook. So those fundamentals, those points are going to be very much useful for you at your preparation times. In the last minute, you don't have your actually time to prepare the entire course. You will never get an opportunity to refer here each and everything whatever you studied. Only thing what you can do here, you can do the quick review of the entire course by maintaining the separate notes. So that's why whatever you are been practicing now till December, November, all the points, all the new things, whatever you are learning on this course, try to maintain as a separate notebook and make it as it's a only one-stop solution for all of you for reviewing of this entire course. That is the one thing you need to be followed here. And once you follow all of them here, definitely you will be very much successful on this. And while you are writing the test series or while you are writing the exams, if you get some topic, some question which is have no related, you are not prepared or you are not seen the content or you are not seen the title of the question, whenever you have here such a kind of problems, never worry about it. Don't be scared about here, okay, this topic has been not covered, this question could not solve here, I didn't understand about what is the meant by here this area and I never seen that. Whenever you find something is a new topic or you can say new title, new area, then you go back to the textbook and understand the topic here and understand here the new title here, then finally you can come back again and solve the problem. Say for example, some questions of the theory of computation, they may be asked you about Mealy machines and Moore machines, which is fundamentals of the digital logic, fundamentals of the theory of computation. When these two components are integrated to build a question, it's quite difficult for the person who is not done very well in the logic diagrams. In such cases, don't worry, go back, what is this question, and refer the topic of that, and refer the book, kindly refer the standard textbooks. That's what I am suggesting here. Whenever you have a doubt on this area, then you please go through the standard book and refer it, and then solve that problem. Same thing only you have to do it, but you never be scared about anything which you find very new in any question. Don't worry, this is new for everyone. Only thing you have to do here, you just go back and refer the book and identify what is identify that area and read it, understand it, and then re-attempt the same question and solve it. This is the way you have to always follow the procedure whenever new topic is coming to the picture. But you don't worry about what is this topic has been and it's not been covered. This is not at all the point of discussion for you because it is common to everyone. Every author, every person is trying to give here something new on our papers. So that's why it is not possible for us to always to attempt each and everything. Sometimes you have to do the backtracking of the content. That's what you have to do it. Finally, what I am suggesting here, whenever you are referring the contents of the theory of computation, I am connecting you these books. You just see the first and foremost important thing, the title whatever I mentioned here. This is Introduction to the Automata Theory, Languages and Computations. This is from Afcraft and John Afcraft and Willman. This is the Bible for us. The first title, whatever I suggested you, this should be with you always. You try to practice all exercise problems, you become a master in this course. After that, I also suggest you, go to the third book here. The third book says here, refer the Peter Lynch, Introduction to the Formal Languages and Automata Theory. Right? This is the another suggested book for all of you. Whenever you wanted to refer some content from the standard book, go to the Peter Lynch book. And also very useful book for all of you, it's a Daniel I. Cohen, that is Introduction to the Computer Theory. This is also one of the useful book. Plenty of the solved problems are there in this area, and even Peter Lynch also have here plenty of the solved problems, and for exercise problems also you are provided with your certain solutions. Definitely these 3 books whatever I suggested going to be help you to understand again the missing titles or missing topics or new topics whatever you need to understand apart from the classwork. And also suggest you, if you wanted to see the combination of the automata and compiler, refer my book, that's Introduction to the Automata and Compiler Design from the PHI Publishers. This book has been provided with the integration of the theory of computation and compiler construction. The fundamentals whatever you are using in the theory of computation, how you will be using in the concepts of compiler construction. That correlations has been practically implemented in this. Apart from that, as I mentioned here, there is a book called here KLP Mishra and N. Chandrasekharan, Theory of Computer Science. Here you have here a lot of solved problems. So these are the standard books I would suggest you. You have to refer whenever you have some confusion on the topic or some confusion on the area where you wanted to know, understand the fundamentals or foundations. These are the best books usually we do follow, not only you, we all follow here across the world. This is the first book in the theory of computation, whatever I mentioned in the title. There Rajiv Motwan is not there. Very first book was here from the J.E. Offcraft and Willman. That title is, if you find it's a black white pad, it is that if you find you just buy it. That's going to be the one of the book, very useful. And also from the this one Peter Lynch, so that is also going to be the one more book helpful for you to solve all your queries related to this topic here. Finally, all in one book if you wanted to see, you can also go through here the one more title which I have here, but I suggest you practice all exercise problems on these books also, because some questions whatever we are framing, we have to refer these books exercises as the references. We consider here they are the basic references for us. If we are forming here any new question or new problem, we take the fundamentals or you can say the foundations from here. Apart from these titles, nowadays you can see there is a one more title, you can see Michael Simpson, The Theory of Computation and Complexity. There is a new book has come recently. That is also one of the book, you can buy it or you can refer it. It is always, they are all available as e-books, you can easily refer all of them here. So finally what I am suggesting you guys, this is very much important for all of you, making a note for each and every step you are moving and making a note for each and every new point you are following here or understood here in the entire process. That should be definitely maintained as a separate notebook, otherwise you will be scared in the last minute reviews, right? That is what I suggest you all, and you will feel here very happy once you see the strategy what I suggested and you have followed them strictly. Definitely you will never see difficulty in this course. Majority of the people has got a myth like theory of computation is a very toughest course. It is not a toughest course. I feel here this is the easiest course than any other course, because only thing I required here the fundamentals to answer the gate questions, or I need to understand here basic principles to answer my questions in the gate exam. You will not be called for your designing of a machines, you will not be asked for here complete constructions of the automatas. Whenever I ask you for your build the so on so, it's a difficult part. But the beauty of this course is here, many of the things already given to you in built model, then you should be in a position to recognize whether they are valid one or not valid one. Validating is very easy. Building is a difficult story. Building will not, you will not be asked for your construction of anything here. Say for example, I cannot ask you in the GATE exam, or you can say the objective type of question, construct a so and so machine, or you can say so and so automata to recognize so and so language. I cannot ask that question. If I ask you that, then it's difficult. What you would be given here, you would be given here the automata, you would be given as a language, and you have to validate it. That is very easy. That's what I am suggesting you here. You never ever scare about this course, especially while preparing for this competitive examinations. This is going to be the easiest course you will feel here, and you will enjoy the every moment, whatever, whenever you are solving the problem here, because it will be give you a lot of challenges, and same time it will also give you a lot of happiness whenever you solve the problems. Lot of pleasure you can get it when you are solving the problems on your own. So that's why friends, what I am suggesting here, this is the simple strategy you need to be followed to be successful in this course. Once again, I thank you all the participants whoever joined for the today's live session. And tomorrow I am going to be joining with you about one more strategy, or I am going to take you some deeper or smart tips, what are the areas to be focused, and smart tip to be remember to score more in this theory of computation. That part I will discuss with you tomorrow, right? So once again I thank you very much to all of you for joining this evening and sending for all your queries and a bit resolved here. And thank you very much once again. Stay safe and join tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Once again I say thank you once again, and welcome to our online program also tomorrow. Please join for, we have been keep waiting for you to join tomorrow. Thank you very much and see you tomorrow.